Hi, good evening. I'm so not used to sitting down and addressing anyone, so it's like, oh, I should stand up. So what I want to talk with you about tonight is the Inquiry by Design curriculum that I piloted with my 7th and 8th grade students at Beach K-8 in North Portland. So as you know, Beach K-8 is a dual language immersion school. I teach on what is referred to as the community or the English side, but I also teach one group of 8th grade dual language immersion students. So I want to come to you as someone who is working with both of these important groups of students. So when I first was looking at the Inquiry by Design work, I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit concerned because it's extremely rigorous. It's very, very challenging. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. And one of the things that I found so powerful is the paradigm shift that Inquiry by Design encourages in teachers. Instead of having a teacher where everything is pinging off of us, Inquiry by Design turns that on its head and asks the students to utilize these really important 21st century skills and to engage in conversation with each other in a collaborative community. That is something that I had hoped for my students, but Inquiry by Design demands it. And so I was wondering how my students would respond to this really strong paradigmatic shift. And I was thrilled to see that across all of my classes, I have a very broad spectrum of students, broad skill level, broad socioeconomic status, and a really strong racial diversity. Every student in my classes was successful with this curriculum. And not just successful, like, yeah, it's okay, Miss Beck. I had students who were on fire with this curriculum. We invited Brian Doyle, the man who wrote the essay that is featured in the Inquiry by Design unit that we piloted, and some of my students who previously were like, I don't know, whatever. They brought their units to Brian Doyle's presentation, greeted him like a rock star, and asked him to sign their units. So this, and I'm not making this stuff up. So not only are there these little anecdotal elements, but I had students who said to me, wow, Ms. Beck, I feel so smart reading this essay. And as they were researching their own information, because of course Inquiry by Design invites students to inquiry, and they find their own ways into these really rigorous and complex texts. So they were researching their own questions. And they said to me, did you know that people in college are reading this essay? I was like, wow, I didn't. And they're like, well, I'm only in 7th grade, but I'm already reading it and I feel so smart. And how powerful for me as a teacher to have my students come to me and announce that they feel smart, particularly when so many of our students do not experience that, unfortunately, on a regular basis when they're interacting with our curriculum. And I know that some people looking at this curriculum might wonder, how is it going to fit our vision of equity as a district? For me as a teacher in a classroom with predominantly students of color, that is absolutely at the forefront of my consideration. I want my students to feel like they can access curriculum, and I feel that that is a successful element of Inquiry by Design. I piloted one unit. However, Inquiry by Design is set up such that it has multiple units, and as a group, we can pick and choose which units we choose to work with. And I was really thrilled to see that almost all of the units have really strong, engaging pieces of writing from authors of color. So there are powerful pieces by Chicano authors, there are powerful pieces by African American authors, by Asian American authors. It's something that I think is really going to tap into and welcome all of our students to feel like they see themselves reflected in the text, and also that they can feel challenged to expand their viewpoints. So I heartily recommend that you support our suggestion in the adoption. And I'll say to you what I said to the other teachers when we were talking about this. It is a paradigm shift. It is going to look scary. Teachers are going to need support, but I think in adopting this, we are voting our hope and not our fear. Our students can do this. Yep. Mine did do this. And we need to have the strength and confidence that every one of our students can rise to this occasion. So I hope that you'll agree with that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.